Hello and welcome to day 1 of FebruARTY. I am so pleased that February is here. January always feels like a long month, and this year more so than ever. And so FebruARTY, what's it all about? It's all to do with my mission, and so many other people have this shared passion and shared mission and shared vision and values to help people to be able to access creativity, use art, express themselves, use it in a way that helps their mental health, helps them to feel more confident, overcome any anxieties or process any traumas, anything like that. And so actually using art as an intentional thing throughout February and being disciplined about it and leaning into it, allowing yourself to express yourself, allowing your creativity to come through, is a really, I suppose, non-threatening, maybe lowest access way to be able to then make something without any pressure. Low pressure, that's the word. Think of it. So actually the fact that I'm struggling to find the words sometimes highlights how much art is important. How when people are struggling to express their emotions, struggling with something stressful or something upsetting, then often words are hard to find. We often find that people feel misunderstood or can't physically find the right words, or, like they might not be able to explain how they're feeling to somebody else. So when they make something, when they create something, that can hold and express something that words cannot express. Hi Gemma, hi Chris, good to see you. It feels really important to recognise that, and as an art therapist, an artist myself, I know based on my own personal sort of lived experience how much art can help and heal and help me to feel more grounded, feel more joy in my life, gain some perspective on things. As well as within my role as an art therapy, I've witnessed that so many times with people that I've worked with who may have really struggled with something huge. And so actually encouraging people to make some art, not just for what it looks like in the end, but for the process, for the opportunity to allow it to help you to, I suppose, improve your confidence and have a sense of growth in your mindset and develop yourself and explore different possibilities for your life. So if you're bringing in creativity as part of that, that can be a big part of what you do on a day-to-day basis to improve things for you. So a lot of people may have a regular kind of routine of self-care and mindset work, such as they may do cold plunge pools. I have cold showers every so often, but never really got on board with the cold plunge so much. And they may journal, or they may meditate, they may do mindfulness. However, actually, I don't hear art being talked about, creativity being talked about so much. And that's what I want to introduce and remind people of, and elevate the profile of the arts and the art world, and make it more accessible for everybody, rather than for people to feel that it's out of reach, or that it's not for them, or they're maybe just not a creative person. So that is why this project that I'm leaning into and bringing into getting more people involved. So I'm getting more people involved in FebruARTY this year because I want to do something a bit different. So for the last few years, since 2021, I've been doing this, giving prompts to people, sharing kind of starting points, and sometimes it's been very structured, other times not so much. And I've got the starting points and I've shared some of them already, with today being about photography, tomorrow being about making something for yourself that really represents you, and day 3 being about like doing something that's a doodle. So those starting points can be really helpful if you are looking for some structure, if you aren't sure where to go or how to start. Hi Jane. If you're not sure where to start, having a theme can be really helpful for people. However, actually, sometimes just starting with a scribble can be a helpful tool. Something else that feels important to say, to repeat, to keep repeating, is that you don't have to be really good at art to benefit from the therapeutic impact and benefits of creativity and art making. It's about the process. I very much believe this, but it's about the process rather than the product. And whilst the end piece that you make can have some significance and some meaning, what you make and the way that you make something along the way can and does hold so much more weight and so many more benefits. So actually, if you're watching this and thinking, well, I'm not very good at art, I'd quite like to try, but I'm not very good, I don't know what to do, don't know how to start, I'm not very good at it, then rather than putting pressure on yourself to be good or feel that matters, which it may matter a lot to you, I understand that, my invitation to you is to give yourself permission to let go of that pressure to be perfect, and maybe strive for creating something and playing and doing something that might be different. And sometimes people think they're not very creative, but when they get started, they realise that they're using their creative muscles every single day anyway. So it's really nice to see you, Jane. And so hello. The other thing that FebruARTY is going to be looking at doing this year is more lives. And I am always a little bit cautious about going live on Instagram, live on any platform, and then sometimes then you share it somewhere else and it can feel weird to then share it somewhere else, and then you've said, hey, I've just gone live on Instagram and then this has been shared to TikTok or it's been shared to YouTube. So if you're watching in another platform and you missed out on the live experience, then I'm really sorry, but yeah, that's how things go. It's weird like that, isn't it? Like how our brains end up kind of getting paranoid about this sort of thing. So I'm inviting people in to join me to collaborate on a live, whether it's that you're an artist, or you might be an art therapist like I am, or it might be that you use creativity in your home with your family, and then you are wanting to maybe starting to make things more yourself or crafts and stuff. Then essentially I'm wanting you to come on board and join me on a live at some point in February. We can decide on a day and a time that works for you. So then part of this is showcasing different approaches, different people's ideas, and encouraging anyone that's watching to get involved as well. So for instance, sharing kind of good practice and sharing the ups and downs and the tips and things like that. Hi Vicky. So sometimes we have this illusion that everybody that's doing something on the internet is doing it really well and they're not struggling, they're doing it with ease. But actually, when we start to unpack and unpick and hear from people, hear about like certain blocks, then we can start to feel that actually they're human as well, and maybe it makes they're experiencing some of the same blocks as me. So an example of that would be that if somebody would be, hi Macy, if somebody would be struggling to get started with their art, or if somebody hasn't made art for a long time and they're apprehensive about what materials to use, then they might be looking at someone that posts art on the internet, like I post art all the time, and think, oh, well, it's easy for them. But then people that are coming on the lives and in my lives that I do independently, I'm going to be talking about some of those blocks that artists often experience and how to overcome those blocks, and how sometimes it's okay just to be in a block. And to me, you are an artist whether you've made one piece of art in your life and then it's still there, or whether you make art every day. In the same way that if you've gone for runs, you don't need to be like an Olympic athlete to call yourself a runner, but if you've gone out for a little run and you've done different things, then I'd still consider you to be a runner. So that's the idea of the lives that are going to be happening throughout this month. So one thing that I'm excited about that does feel good is that I've been talking to some people, different people that I know to start with, and people that I've seen, that I've met, people that I'm getting to know because I've seen what they do online and I want to get to know more of them, reaching out to them. Some people have reached out to me to ask to be involved as well. And what feels really cool, what feels really fun, important, and that I'm just really grateful for is that when I've spoke to people, oh, my brain's just gone now. This is why words are not always enough. This is why our images can really help when words are not enough. When words get tired, art speaks. So what I'm really grateful for is how many people have jumped, whether cautiously or whether in at the deep end, going, yes, I'm on board with that. Just getting on board with something and wanting to then join on a live. And in terms, I've never done a live where people have joined me, so that might be a bit clunky, that might be a bit strange, but look out for more live videos like this. And if you would like to get involved, join me on a live, talk about how creativity is used in your life with the people you help, or for yourself, for your own well-being, then I'd love to hear from you. And I think it would be really, we're not talking about having live videos just from artists or just from art therapists. What I want to be seeing or bringing people together is the voice of the person that might have tried something and then they haven't made art for 20 years and now they're leaning back into it, or the voice of somebody that doesn't consider them to be an artist, but they cook, or they are really into fashion. And those are the sorts of things that are really important and really wise to be able to showcase, because art and creativity is definitely not just about art making and crafts. It's about how we problem solve and how we create a life that we want, how we see things from different perspectives, and maybe transform emotions as well. And that's something really important anyway. So thanks for watching, and that's all for me today, and I'll speak to you soon. If you have any questions, if you want to get involved in some way, any tips that you want to share with people, then get in touch, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.